So people like the number 39, but they like to reverse it as 93. Then they like to connect it to being a placement of Pisceans, being something of the 12th house, a planet there, a placement. Then they like to make it seem more important than it actually is. And then they like to celebrate the numbers 39. However, to me, because I use the Marilyn Monroe code. And what do I mean by use it? It's to be blonde. And then you get looked at and you get expected, I don't know if you guys know this, to behave certain ways based off of who they idolize and have these ideals built upon based upon these first impressions they got from these blonde and even these women that bleach it blonde like me. And this gets instilled very young. It depends on when you begin this journey. So men, whenever you began it with Marilyn Monroe, how often you did it, how deep you fantasized, how you dated based off of your fantasy, and how you were choosing women based off of the films you would watch of this individual. So I think a lot, and I tell this to people, even the guys that look like potential ex-husbands of hers. So I'm looking for my DiMaggio, but I do want to say it doesn't have to be an Italian man, because she also had a total of 3 ex-husbands. This is something people don't want to think about. She was straight. She had 3 marriages, 3 divorces. Her death is a mystery. There's a lot of talk about what they think went on and all that. But we know she was married to different men. And look at their last names. Look at what they are and look at what she is. She's 4 things. She's mixed. I'm mixed. She worked in warehouse work. I used to do warehouse work. Then she got discovered by somebody through photography, through art. Okay, I was doing warehouse work and then I started doing art. So see how deep you guys can go with the code. Keep going, everybody. It's not just about being blonde and being dumb and showing your nudity. She had these men's lives. They were in her lives more than you know, in my opinion. So this is information to process. It's up to you to utilize it to the truest form, the truest numbers. So she was a Gemini. DiMaggio was a Sagittarius, that's 3-9. So I don't use it unless I'm gonna go be looking and I see him. Like, that might be my DiMaggio. And he doesn't have to be Italian. But she had 3 ex-husbands. We know this. But this is the one that was kind of talked about. And I'm using it because it was like also the middle, the second husband, the second ex-husband. So that's middle energy too. You got to remember like the place and what it means. So, right, 3. What does each one represent to you, or do you not care? Because I think a lot of you don't care about the men in the story. They have everything to do with her being in her position where she is. I just wish people thought about it more because she's from the mind, Gemini. But I feel people, just looked at her. They didn't think about her a lot. So that's just Hallmark sign. And she did her job. You guys liked her job. But a little too much of her body, not her actual body of work. And then her personal life. So maybe that's why she didn't want to live. I don't know. Who knows if it was society or what. So the 3-9, I know it's popular for some reason, but to me it's personal because I'm looking for my DiMaggio, like I said. And there's a close calls, but he doesn't have to be Italian. But it's certain things about that era. So I could talk more about it later. It's nuances. You gotta look between. Look at the photos. Look how they look at each other. But look how she looks at each husband. Look at how they both look. Everyone wants to look at her. Look at the men. It's up to everybody if they want to do that. But that's what I'm looking at. So I see the totality. How was it with them? How did it look? How was it really? What's it looking like for me? Who do I think are close to each individual, each ex-husband? So what were the things that I noticed that I was drawn to about them? not the actual person, but what were things I liked about these men. So I use this Marilyn Monroe code different, I guess. I don't know if anybody knows or ever heard any women say it as a code, but I guess it's more of a hobby or interest. I'm not sure what women do, but this is my process because I come from this German learning background of decoding and code breaking. So I'm also watched at for that. So I guess they kind of want a handle on, all right, well, where is she going with this? Or what does she even think about this individual? Well, I'm telling you, I don't think much thinking is being done about it. And I don't use that number 3 because that's her, Marilyn Monroe, Mercury. That was a strong mercurial person that everyone remembers, almost everyone, in popular culture in the United States. It's art that's still in diners. Just to give an example, you'll find it. You guys know where to see it. It pops up. And yeah, I wish DiMaggio got more popularity for his achievements. I just want to say that at the end right now, rather than he actually did. I feel he could have gotten more because he retired. They could have done more segments with him, got more film that was better accessible in this day and age in 2025. That's where I'm at with this information. He's the 9th, he's the Sagittarius, so the 3-9, that's Marilyn Monroe and, well, Norma Jean Baker and Joseph DiMaggio. And that's the information I just wanted to put up here. So hope this helps with how I view numbers and what I don't use them for. There's no point if I don't see a point of it being used for what, if I don't see what I'm wanting. It hasn't appeared yet, so sometimes I don't use numbers if it doesn't show up to me. It's just another number to pass by. What does it really mean? So 3-9, we haven't seen that yet. I think they were a powerful couple, but that was Gemini and Sagittarius, so I don't know if anyone ever knew that or ever heard it a woman say. So it was a Gemini woman and a Sagittarius man. I think they got very popular. I think they were more popular than we realized because back then we didn't have devices, so the energy was like all on them. And whatever the programs ran on the television sets for everybody, they were old-fashioned sets still. Energy was different back then. We can only imagine what it was really like, but those are their zodiac sun signs. Gemini and Sagittarius sun couple.